I know Notre Dame's
I'm
tough.
high.
It's a tough starting point for against Notre Dame, but this is a team that arguably has the best offensive line in the country. Has some studs on the defensive line. Reuben Bain Jr. They got a new defense coordinator here, Corey Heatherman.
Okay.
They've gone out and gotten some secondary people, some secondary help.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a quarterback that's been through all the wars and all the battles, and they went out and got him too.
Experience.
They've got an experienced running back room, and those are running backs running behind arguably the best offensive line in the country. The question mark would be your receivers. You did go out and get C.J. Daniels from LSU. Oh, man, I think there's a lot of reason to believe in this Miami Hurricanes team. And I'm not just saying for the whole season. I'm saying against Notre Dame. I think they can hang. I think they can win. Will they win? That's a different question. But I'm optimistic, very optimistic. And maybe I'm more high on Carson Beck than most people, but I do believe in him.
Here's the thing about people, right? Especially down here. Nobody knew who who Cam Ward was last season, before last season. So the fact that you didn't know who this quarterback was and he turned out to be an amazing player and the number one pick of the draft. Now you're really down on somebody you've seen who's gone through the wars. I mean, who's played in some of the biggest games in recent memory in college football. I mean, Georgia's Georgia. Every game with Georgia is a big game, especially in the SEC, especially when they're going against a ranked team. They're on television every weekend. He's gone through it all. So I don't think that you should look down on Carson Beck or don't think he can't. He's not the same player as Cam Ward. So I'm not expecting that. But what I do expect him to be is a guy who can trunculate that offense up and down the field, get points, and maybe not put the defense on the field so quickly as often as that offense was scoring points last year, where the defense might be worn out, or you show the weaknesses on the defense. So I think Carson Beck is a very, very good quarterback in college football.
I think you look at Cam Ward, and he was more of just an athlete, a great quarterback.
He was more of what the quarterbacks now, the extend plays, get out the pocket, like that. It was very Patrick Mahomes-esque.
I expect Carson Beck to be more of a surgeon, just carving it up.
He doesn't have those skills that Cam Ward has, but he can stay in the pocket and he can throw the ball. Cam could do that, but he can get out of the pocket. His strength was getting out the pocket and extending plays. But when you have one of the, if not the best offensive line in football, your ass can stay in the pocket
and where feel protected should be.
and feel safe knowing that I'm not going to get hit.
Yeah,
you're not going to get hit at all. You're going to be you have a good running game. You have a great running game. Like, you have a tremendous running game
that you should lean on no matter what. No matter how good your quarterback is.
And that's the strength, because look, the Canes lost so many skill position receivers from last year.
They're top 5, yeah.
I think maybe they're top 7, to be quite honest with you. But I do believe with the recruiting that the university does, that they'll replenish that and we'll see some stars. But when you have a running game and an offensive line, and I think Mario MO is ground and pound, milk the clock, take the heart, take the pretty much take the manhood out of the other team. Take that.
That's what you want.
That's the game plan for the Canes. I think that's the game plan. That's why I think that Notre Dame Miami game next Sunday is gonna be a hard hitting affair, bro. It's going to be a hard hitting affair. Like, I can't wait, man. Like, I really can't wait. I'm so happy that the season, an unbelievable week 1, great game today going on so far. College football is back. Last preseason game, so we don't got to deal with this BS no more. Then you get a week off, and then before you know it, September 4th comes, and it's opening night. Eagles, Cowboys, and then 3 days later, Colts, Dolphins at Lucas Oil.
And for everyone sitting there like, oh, Catholics versus convicts, like, what are these?
That's done.
What do these kids know about that?
Done.
No, they see the documentaries. They know what's going on.
And that's the thing. I want that. Like you, come on, ESPN. You should put the documentary out. The 30 for 30.
They
gotta hype that up.
I would, but that's the thing. Like we all know about rivalries. We all know about how things are. These guys that are born and raised in South Florida, they know about the rivalries. It's just ingrained in your culture. So for people to say that, oh, the rivalry is dead, or the players don't even remember, they might not remember, but they know. They know. It's one of those things. When you went into high school, why did you know your rival high school? Because it was part of the culture. It was part of what was ingrained in you.
You always know your rival. Bro, I would go back to my high school right now if I know that Nas is playing Lachlan in a basketball game.
There you go.
It's up and stuck forever. Forever. High school and college. See, that's a great point you brought up, Cousin. Are rivalries better in amateur sports than they are in professional sports? Like, you know how Michigan, Ohio State is the big rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Knowles, Canes, Gators.
Notre Dame.
Canes, Notre Dame. Like, that is forever. Forever. Like, my high school, you know who your rival in high school was, right?
Yeah.
That's your rival forever. That's always going to be your rival forever. When you get back with your friends, back at a high school reunion, college reunion, whatever, you're going to remember that time Nas beat Lachlan or whatever. I don't know what your name of your high school was, so I don't know. I'll just make one up. Remember when Louisiana High beat Louisiana Tech High?
Yeah.
All right, boom. You're always going to remember that. Same down here. Northwestern, somebody beats Northwestern, somebody's going to remember when they beat Northwestern.
Yeah.
St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You're always going to remember that. If Miramar beat American, they're going to remember that.
Yeah, pro rivalries are more built on what they do in the playoffs.
Right. Like if you withstood a team from getting to the promised land. You know what I'm saying? At least with like a team season, Dan, could be terrible. But if they beat their rival,
they wanted to fire Ohio State's coach,
John Cooper.
No.
Oh, Dan Day.
Not Dan Day. Ryan Day. They wanted to fire him before the season was over, but they let him play it out to win a national championship.
They still not happy that he won the title because he still lost to Michigan. Like, that's crazy.
Vlad, you're telling me it's more important to beat Michigan than win a national championship? I love rivalries. I don't know about that. That's too much.
It's all about winning the national title.
Right.
That's why people probably see. That's why I wanted to see the comments if somebody was going to go crazy for us. Because yes, Cam Ward was freaking phenomenal last season, right? But when we said if Carson Beck leads the Canes to a playoff, he had a better year than Cam Ward, people gonna be like, there's gonna be callers or listeners gonna be like, what are you talking about? He put up the greatest numbers at a university. Right, he did individually, but this is all about team success. So therefore, Carson Beck leads the University of Miami to the playoffs and they win a game in the playoffs. Guess who had a better season at quarterback? Carson Beck.
Yeah. It's all about the final result. That's the thing. They always say you can never take a national championship away from a coach or players. When you win them, your Super Bowl, win them, that's there forever. That's the final result. You can have all the numbers in the world, but you don't win them.
Comedians see no evil. The Hurricanes have more of a rivalry with Virginia and Virginia Tech than Notre Dame. I would have put them there. No, you're not. No, they don't.
Doesn't move the needle as much.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Virginia and Virginia Tech was not pushing Miami in 1988. No. When you have a game that's title labeled Catholics versus Convicts,
and that ESPN does documentaries on it.
Yeah, they're not
maybe
doing
two
that
of
with
them.
Virginia Tech. All right, nobody's talking about that October 31st game when Corey Simon was going crazy. No, nobody's talking about that. But they're definitely going to talk about Rocket. They're definitely going to talk about Jimmy versus Lou Holtz. Yes, that's a rivalry.
Jimmy Johnson addressed the team the other day.
Ooh,
he said, "Go out there and make memories, make history. You're never going to get anything against Notre Dame," he also said.
What do you mean? You're not going to get anything against.
You're never going to get a call. You're never going to get anything.
Oh, yes, they should. At home?
I'm just saying.
At home, they should.
Jimmy Johnson was spurned once. He said it cost them the national championship.
What, that 31-30 loss?
Yeah, it gave Notre Dame the national championship and cost them
That
the
was
national
a
championship.
2-point conversion, bro. That was.
Miami's been cheated out of a lot.
Miami's always been cheated. I'm not gonna
that
sit
Ohio
here.
State game.
Hey,
oh,
F
man.
you, Terry Porter.
That was a rough one.